Hello Twin Flames, and welcome back to God Conscious Twin Flame 1111. My name is Pamela and I want to welcome you back to my channel. I want to thank all my loyal subscribers, all the new viewers. Thank you for the comments, thank you for sharing the videos, thank you for being a member of the page God Conscious Twin Flame. I just thank you for the donations and the support overall. It means a lot to be on your journey, and I am grateful to you for that. So I'm going to start with the Jesus calling. Trust me and don't be afraid. I want you to view trials as exercises designed to develop your trust muscles. You live in the midst of fierce spiritual battles, and fear is one of Satan's favorite weapons. When you start to feel afraid, affirm your trust in me. Speak out loud if circumstances permit. Resist the devil in my name, and he will slink away from you. Refresh yourself in my holy presence. Speak or sing praises to me, and my face will shine radiantly upon you. Remember that there is no condemnation for those who belong to me. You have been judged not guilty for all eternity. Trust me and don't be afraid, for I am your strength, song, and salvation. So I'm going to just go into the reading. Bear with my head as I go to reach for that. And so, and I'm doing it again. Sorry, I have very little space to work with over here. So we're going to go into the book of I'm going to do Isaiah first because I'm already in the Old Testament. Isaiah 12:2. Behold, God is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid. For Yah, the Lord, is my strength and song. He also has become my salvation. Therefore, with joy, you will draw water from the wells of salvation. And in that day you will say, praise the Lord, call upon his name, declare his deeds among the peoples. Make mention that his name is exalted. Sing to the Lord, for he has done excellent things. This is known in all the earth. Cry out and shout, O inhabitant of Zion, for great is the Holy One of Israel in your midst. And then I'm just going to go into Romans 8:1-2. 1 and 2. I kind of went all the way through until they told me to stop. There is therefore now no condemnation in those who are in Christ Jesus, who do not walk according to the flesh, but according to the Spirit. For the law of the Spirit of life in Christ Jesus has made me free from the law of sin and death. I'm going to go into to verse 3. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, God did by sending his own Son in his likeness of sinful flesh. On account of sin, he condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteous requirement of the law might be fulfilled in us who do not walk according to the flesh, but according to the Spirit. Yeah, so that has been kind of my mission, and I work every day to fulfill it, and I don't always do it very well, but I do work at trying to keep in the fruit of the Spirit. Bear with me 1 minute because I lost my music. So this is Connect to the Universe, Miracle Manifestations by Good Vibes. And hopefully you'll hear it now. Kind of went off. I guess I thought I was done. So we're kind of at the end of the Mercury retrograde. Sorry guys, I just noticed that wasn't correct. Okay. And I'm hoping that your spirits are high and light, and that you guys are experiencing this intimate relationship with God, and if you're going through a struggle or questioning, just ask for the guidance and protection, and you will receive. You ask not because you have not because you ask not, is how it's written. And so my desire is for you to feel the love and to feel the spirit in everything that you do moving forward. And I do have some friends that are not on the twin flame journey, but just, lifelong friends of mine who are going through some things. So if you're not, that's a blessing. The people around you might be. And so you can be a pillar of strength for those that are struggling. And talking the truth to them is what part of this mission is to be a light for those that are in the darkness. So I'm hoping that you get to be a blessing, and that you are a blessing. You are a blessing to me. So I'm sure that in your everyday reality that there are people that you're a blessing to. So we're just going to go right into the reading. This card was jumping, so I want to say 8 of Cups. Yeah, walking away from those fleshly things, walking away from the desires of the world was the energy from that card that just popped out. Walking into the world of the spirit, and walking in the realm of spirit. There's not a lot of us that do that. As you can see by the news, if you watch the news, I don't, so I don't really know all that's happening right now. Some people say that's not spiritual, but for me, in order to stay a clear vessel, I just won't do it. So I'm not guided in that way. There are others that are, and we can seek those out when I need that information, when you need that information. I'm really going to talk from the spiritual realm. And that's what these cards and these readings do, is talk about where we're at in humanity, in the psyche, and how to get from where we're at in the psyche to an improved place. That's what they call the ascension process. Ascending from pain and misery and discomfort to a place of peace, knowing that pain and misery is all around us, but that we can be in peace and we can be the light at the end of the tunnel for those that are struggling in the darkness. Those of us on the twin flame journey have a very special mission, which is to promote love and to be love. And whether you're with your twin flame or not, I'm going to encourage you to be love. Don't quit on love, because love is the answer to all of the problems, and love is the answer to many questions that are out there. So I just want to encourage you to be love. So I'll share with you, I got a few new stones that I added to my collection. 2 new tarot decks. One I have, one is not here yet. I'm gonna, if they guide me, I would like to use them. I'm using, as always, my Sierra Marchetti, which is the main deck. I'm in search for a specific deck, and I've asked the angels to guide me to it. But the Archangel Power Tarot, just beautiful. With the angel wings and the power and the strength of the lion. And that's by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Alright, God, Jesus, all the angels, archangels, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, the messenger of God, all the guides that are with us from around the world, and the viewers that are watching, I ask that you use me as a clear vessel to provide clarity to those that are in need or in search of answers on their divine path. We thank you for all the ways in which you show up in our lives, and all the ways that we see, and the ones even that we don't see. And we thank you now for your guidance and your protection and your divine light. And we ask that you continually stay present with us. We will continually be reminded to ask for you to be with us. And so it is. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, The overall energy is standing your ground, really. Stand your ground. You got the Seven of Wands. You've got all these other things coming up against you. Maybe it's the 7 deadly sins that you're fighting against right now. That's the idea that they gave me. That's the intuition. 7 deadly sins. Maybe one of them is, you know, partying. Another one could be fear. They need you to get into the center of balance, of knowing when those 7 deadly sins are coming, so you don't have to. At some point, you'll stop battling like this with the 7 deadly sins, and you'll be more like that. You'll know. There won't be a battle anymore, battle of the mind and the heart. It'll just be a knowing. You won't feel like this out in the cold. That's what the twin flame journey does, is it gets us from this to this. It gets us from this, fighting with people around us, to, you know, tell them what we think that this journey is about and why we don't give up on the divine masculine, to a place like this. It's not going to matter to you, because your overall energy is you're walking away from anything which doesn't serve you on that earthly realm. Showing this, actually, I like this. Temperance. Temperance. So I'm going to just kind of, they give us a whole story. They want to get you from all of this. And if you're experiencing, you know, you turned your back out of disappointment, they're going to show you that those things are not ever anything that were going to fulfill you anyway. They're going to show you that sometimes, you know, partying and celebrating, it's not all it's cracked up to be. It's the same old. It's not as fulfilling as it used to be, because you're moving into a different type of lifestyle, a different type of peace. You won't feel like everything is turning against you, and all this stuff, all these lessons are to turn you to God. They're to turn you to God, not away from God. And so, yeah, there's, okay. So, it's showing that there's some nostalgia in the Six of Cups. Maybe you were thinking about some better days in which, you know, things were happier, and that you wish that you could go back to, but hold on to and cherish those memories and use them to help you to move forward. This is in the work position, so maybe, you know, the job that you had is no longer fulfilling you, and it's time to move on. Maybe you remember when it was feeding your soul, but it's now, you know, maturing you, and you learned all you could learn from it, and it's time for you to find a new, and it's showing me here, and like a new energy in the Ace of Wands. A new energy, a new inspiration, a new idea, just newness coming towards you. A lot of us are afraid of change, so they want to encourage you not to be afraid of change, but to move toward it. Change is a, you know, part of everyday life, and we really want to learn how to embrace it and envelop it, and really, really go with it. So you might be the agent of change in your home environment, in your work environment, in your friend environment. This is showing that there is a desire to change your life, a desire to change your environment. This is an opportunity. It's like just feeling alive again, letting the fire run through your veins, just letting this take you by storm even. just feeling overall inspiration. See the light above. The chameleon. The chameleon can change and adapt to its environments so easily. And that's what we want to learn how to do, is to change and adapt to our environments. Not that we change our beingness, but maybe change our attitude about having to go through the change. I went through this week, and I just spent one day where I was just like really meditating on how I'm supposed to move forward. You have this again, and that's the Seven of Swords. That means getting some rest. You're feeling heavy, burdened, and needing some rest. But you have these two swords here that you just picked up too many energies. Because you're in the twin flame journey, I need you to remember that most of you are empaths or intuitives, and that you pick up on everything. You really want to learn how to keep yourselves clear, guard your energy, guard your heart, guard your thoughts, almost envision yourself being protected by that's weird. This is kind of, maybe you're in self-deception. Maybe you're in self-deception. Maybe you've seen things in a way that wasn't honest to you, wasn't pure to you or to somebody else. And that could be why you're heavy burdened. You might need to reach out for some help to see what's going on. But in all the work that it took to get all those swords that you have and that you're holding on to, just kind of, it wears you down when we're in that kind of dishonesty, self-deception, or deception for others' sake. This could be you, this could be your twin flame who's going through this, and maybe you're experiencing this, your divine partner. What the outcome card is, there's the end of that. This is the Ten of Coins. This is the end of being in the wilderness. There's the lights at the end of the tunnel. You won't have to, we sometimes do this so that we don't have to feel pain. Our divine partners, particularly in the, I'm not going to say that, because there's divine partners that are feminine, that are caught up in their own clever schemes, that they, in order to run from the twin flame or to run from the divine, they're not running from us, I don't think, as much as they're running from the divine mission, from the divine, maybe a misunderstanding or a lack of clarity on how to stay in the fruits of the spirit, which it says, when you're engaging, somebody here is engaging in the flesh, dishonesty, corruption, just taking things that have now got them burdened down. But again, you got the Ten of Coins, the light at the end of the tunnel. You will be able to see your way clear of that. Intellectually honest comes to mind with that card, or intellectually dishonest in that case. When you get clear from all of this, or this will come first, it's like there's magic in the ordinary. It's like, wow, I didn't think I would ever get through that, but look, here I am. And I feel great. And there's nothing that can tear me down now. But you do have to get clear of all of the energies that were coming before that, because that's still active in many of your lives. And the divine wants for you to be clear from the seven deadly sins, and then the kind of the dysfunction that goes with not being authentic. Being authentic sometimes is painful, and I'm afraid that I'm going to get rejected. Here's the reality: if you're going to reject yourself or reject the other person, I would much rather reject another person than reject any part of me anymore in my life. But the outcome is good, is positive, because this is the great energy and speed in which you're learning these lessons. You will be able, you're going to get reborn with new energy, new inspirations with this outcome card. That clarity is coming to you. And then once you get released from these bondages, there's a new freedom that unravels and will help you further on the path. So I remember going through those phases where I was in self-deception, where I was in, just nostalgia, and I was kind of frozen in that. And it takes what it takes before you're out of that. So just be patient with yourself, continuing doing your honoring rituals, continuing to take care of yourself, be gentle with yourself. We don't realize that sometimes we do put ourselves in the position of self-deceit or to be lied to, because we don't always want to hear the truth. The truth hurts. The truth is that you are pure love, and that you don't have to steal for that which you want. All you have to do is ask. You may not get it from the people that you think you should, but you're not in a position to know where it's coming from yet. And that's why they're showing you. The light at the end of the tunnel might not come in the twin flame journey. It might come in a work situation. It might come in a new partner who's going to teach you new things. It might come in a new friendship it might come in a new fellowship of people. But sometimes when we're so focused on exactly what we think we want, that actually gets repelled from us, because we're acting as if we don't have it. The twin flame is always with you. The divine partner is always with you in spirit, even if not in the physical. And it took me a long time to be able to get clear and be okay with, you know what, in the physical it just can't work. It's okay that it can't work. It can't work for many reasons. I've moved beyond that. The things that I want have changed since the journey began. I am a completely different person than I was when I met my divine partner. And he is a completely different person. It was a blessing to have been with him for when we were together, and it was a blessing that I had to go through the overcoming process and the awakening process. It was a blessing. Without him, that never would have happened. Without him, I wouldn't be here doing this, being a light for others. Without him, I wouldn't be actively coaching, which is what I'm really good at, is helping people get to the light at the end of the tunnel. So what is it that you're really good at, that you're called to do, that you didn't do for you? And I'm going to encourage you to think about that, because the divine wants to fulfill your heart's desires. It wants to give you, wants you to be happy, joyous, and free. So, just encouraging you. Some of you are healing from broken hearts, and that process, that's also a grieving process. Let's see what clarity there is for this divine twin flame message. They said this is for a few of you, not all of you. Some of you might have actually had to go through some of these lessons again to help strengthen you. Yeah, you're beginning a new journey, the Fool's journey. Be generous with what you've learned. Be generous with the information and knowledge you've gained, the wisdom that you have to offer. Finances. Maybe your home. Maybe you can open your doors to some people, and you haven't in the past. You're a queen. You run the kingdom. So, being in the queen energy, and I would encourage you to look up what it takes to be a queen. Yeah. So we got the death at the bottom of the card, at the bottom of the deck. And there is a new journey coming. This is a divinely inspired new journey. It's the end of all of the old, and a new day. A new day is upon us. And you're going to come up as a queen or a king, depending on who's watching this. The Queen of Swords. Your thoughts are going to be clear. Your emotions aren't running it anymore. You're being divinely guided. This is a new beginning for many of you. Queens are also very generous to her subjects. So remember, be generous. Maybe tip your servers a little bit more than you would normally. You have no idea how you could be helping them. Maybe donate to the church. See the hands that are grab. Don't make them grab for it, or just offer it gently. You can even do it in silence and in quiet. Those are the things that'll help you. Because you don't have to take that which God gave you. And God giveth freely, and He taketh freely. So you want to give freely, so that you don't have to guard it yourself. It's not going to go away if you share it. Sharing it is. I'm going to leave these here. I'm sorry. I'm going to leave these here. There. I'm going to do the new tarot deck, the Archangel Power Tarot cards, to help with this. There's a lot of shifting from the old into the new. And when we go on this new journey, I know we're coming into a full moon, when we go on to this new journey, we just want to remember that we don't always know it all, and that there's going to be times that we're going to be blindsided, and new information is going to come to us, and I'm going to ask you to embrace it and to take it in. This is kind of what you asked for. You wanted new beginnings. You wanted a new life. You wanted, change and more love. And we have to know that it does take effort, and it does take some semblance of sacrifice on our part. It does take a credible measure of patience. Okay, we'll get stuck there. Okay, so this deck is still so brand new that it's very difficult to shuffle. I was studying them last night, and I just was in awe at how beautiful they are, and very grateful that I received these. So not all these readings will resonate with everybody, but for a lot of you that are watching this channel, I imagine needed to see this and needed to hear some of what is being said. And this, some of you have to make decisions to leave unhealthy situations. The situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking a more uplifting approach. I think that's really wise guidance. Yeah, a new emotional situation. Messages regarding relationship or social invitations, and great intuitive insights. So you got the Page of Raphael in here, and being gentle, loving, open-hearted. You got another page. Reliable, clever, educated, and balanced. An excellent opportunity will be offered to you. Scholarships or the pursuit of education, maybe work, Just really beautiful setting, almost three-dimensional when you look at this card. And then justice. So see, they're repeating in what we got in the first tarot. Fight for justice and equality. Rulings made in your favor. Don't give up. So maybe some of you are going through a divorce, or maybe some of you are going through a legal battle, maybe work-related or otherwise. Don't give up. The situation will work out the best way, and you may not see it because you had attached your wholeness to a certain outcome, but the outcome really, what you think you need and what the divine can see that you need are not always going to match up. And yeah, so you guys, gonna open Tarot for the Heart deck by John Holland to see. They really are encouraging you to fight for justice and equality, especially for you. A lot of us don't know how to stand up for ourselves. You are reliable and clever, educated and balanced, gentle, loving, and open-hearted. You've got all these, powerful traits to rely upon. Don't let your emotions get the best of you as it relates to the changes that you already probably prayed for and forgot about. That's why I write down my prayers, so that I don't forget that I did pray for situations to occur. And that's kind of what the boat I was in on Monday was like. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. I'm involved in a lot of things right now. What direction would you have me take? And is this the right direction? And so far it's the right direction until it's not the right direction. Who knew? That easy. Alright, so what further guidance do you have? With overall, excellent opportunities, a new emotional situation. They're saying don't give up. They're saying release your attachment to the outcome. Because what God has for you is way better than what you have for you. Always. Seek divine guidance. That's what they're saying. Seek divine guidance. If you have particular scenarios and you're not quite sure what to do about them. The base chakra or the root chakra, and they're saying joy and stability. I would do a cleansing and clearing of the base chakra. That's our foundation. That's the root. That's, we want to make sure that that's clear at all times. That's also the seat of creativity. That's where the fire, the Ace of Wands. That's where you're going to find your stability. And that's where you're going to find your joy. All of this is within. They want you to shine your light. So, I would say base chakra, and then, I'm looking at solar plexus chakra, where you can finally feel happy and stable and love. Alrighty, that's your reading. Very powerful. This is for today, going into next week. I hope you find the information that you needed here today. I'm sending you love and light. I'm going to be doing, hopefully starting tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a card a day on the Facebook page. So if you get a chance, take a look, pop by, give a like, share it. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to email me or leave a message below. I'd be happy to answer them. I do see messages that show up and then they disappear. So if you don't want it for the general public, please send me in a private email. And if you would like to book a personal reading to get more clarity on your situation, The links are below to do that. I just want to thank you guys for being with me. Until next time, blessings of peace, love, and light.